What up, crypto lovers and enthusiasts? Bitcoin moved up today, so we have to take a look at that. We're going to look at the chart. I did some TA yesterday. I gave some scenarios. One of them played out, so let's get an extension of those ideas. Now, what I see as what the probabilities are, but I'll give some scenarios there. And the catalyst for this, because I said a catalyst was needed, and apparently there's an approval window for ETFs, so I'll share that story with you guys. That'll be the first thing I share, and then we're just going to look at 3 altcoins. All right, we're going to look at what happened to the chart on WASPay, WTK, because it had a really big pullback, a big red candle after an AMA. The community is up in arms, so we're gonna check out that story to see if it's an opportunity. Hint, it is. We are in buy the dip territory, guys, and every time I've mentioned it, I mentioned it a lot in these videos, and every time I see a dip, I remember that in my head, and so I nibble at it, and then the next day I'm usually pretty happy about that decision. Anyways, so one of those that I'll give you an example of is Kompete. I just recently made a video on Kompete, and I told you where Kompete was in. Maybe not exactly on Kompete, but where I mentioned I bought some, and then it moved up. So we're gonna look at that chart. We're gonna take a look at where that is, and Synverse as well, another crypto that moved up and then retraced, similar to what Bitcoin has done. But we're gonna look at that chart too. And so without further ado, let's do this. All right, so let's look at Bitcoin. So I thought, a catalyst was needed, right? This was here, right? If you watch my channel, you know that this little box was here representing November. I thought maybe this is an area of interest. And it's just funny how this candle for now just went up just about here, 38,138. I don't know. It's just interesting. Some people don't believe in technical analysis, but I think they consider it male. What do they consider it? Male horoscope. The horoscopes aren't wrong all the time. A lot of people can relate to what their horoscope and details say about them are. So I mean, does that make sense? A lot of people can relate about their horoscope and say, yeah, it does kind of fit who I am as a person. Blah 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 blah. So I mean, the same thing with technical analysis. This is not a pseudoscience or whatever you would want to call it, reading chicken bones. There is something to it, because it is just essentially, this is just human psychology and just fear and greed in a visual form, right? That's all this really is, and that's why patterns repeat, because people tend to be the same way around money. I mean, our minds haven't really changed, haven't really evolved for hundreds of thousands of years. I think you could look that up in Google, but something like that. And so we see that, okay? So that's why technical analysis does work. I read somewhere a book where they said the hot hand didn't exist in basketball, for example, where you take a couple of shots and then you just kind of feel it. I don't know if you ever played sports, but sometimes you get into that zone. They do say the zone exists, but the hot hand supposedly doesn't exist. And I don't know, if you watch basketball or any sport, sometimes an athlete catches fire and they just go on like a tear and they can't miss. Okay, so I mean, the hot hand I think does exist. And things like that, sometimes science can't explain. All right, and I'm not saying science can't explain this, because science says it's a random walk, and I think that that's true. In the 1 hour or the 1 minute or whatever these different time frames. Okay, because that's really hard to. Again, I think that is more random. But if you stretch out to the day, to the week, to the month, patterns do form, guys. I'm sorry, but just is the way it is. I mean, look at this pattern, these patterns, okay? Patterns do form, so we can get an idea of what is going on. All right. And let's look at actually in the month. Let's look at Bitcoin in the month. Let's look what's been going on. All right. Stair step. Boom, from the bottom. Boom, boom, boom. This one, and now it looks like we're going to take another step up. Okay, this was a short-lived side step, right? Just 1 month, February, basically, right? January, February, boom. From March, it took us a long time to break through this area that we've broken through, and now we're moving up. It took us a long time because this area right here of 30,000 is very strong area, both support and resistance. All right, resistance. Okay, so how I explained it is, you know, this up over 30 is essentially the bull market territory. This where we are, where we spent April, May, June, July, August, September trying to get past this. To me, I would call this like no man's land. This is still the bear market, but it's like the upper part of the bear market, the transition part of the bear market into a bull market. Okay, which is where I think we are now. Does that mean we can't retrace back here and test this area of 30,000 again as an area of support? Yes. My theory now, because of what happened today, is that maybe we do retest it back there, or maybe not even that low, to be honest with you. Maybe in just 35 range to the 33 range, depending on how high we go. And how high we can go is because maybe we can get up here to 44,000 by the end of the year, which is this right here. All right, so let's take a look closer here, and let's put this on the day. Anyways, that was my rant on technical analysis. So Bitcoin. So yesterday I said what could happen here is, and I'll go to this one because I use this one more. What could happen here is basically, and you can see here the stair steps here too, right? Just broken up. The lows of here. We spent a lot of time in this stairwell, or this stair step, and now this one, which looks like we want to get out of quickly. All right, but that might come back to haunt us if we don't build a nice little base here, and maybe we do come back down here. Maybe at the end of the year if we don't go up all the way. All right, so now, all right, so a catalyst, all right? So I thought we could break here. I thought with the catalyst, and the catalyst apparently appeared as in this ETF, a window of approval. We're gonna take a look at that real quick. I know I said we were gonna take a look at that first, but hey, things happen. I gotta go with the flow, fellas, ladies as well. All right, so could this be a fake out? This wick up here says, I don't know. To me, this big wick up here that we got up to like $38,011. Just, I don't know, maybe, but we needed a catalyst. Let's see if we can keep it. If not, you know, I do see us coming back down. I don't see us going back down to 31,000 right now, guys. I really don't. Right here, this could be an area of support right here, and I could see us maybe doing this again, coming back down here and spending some time around here in 34. Yeah, no, not much lower than 34, 33, 33,500 really. All right, filling that space up first, but it is possible that from here we go up. Why? Because of this catalyst, people might be a little bit more bullish, thinking that in this next 8-day period, this run up is either someone knows something, right? Someone knows something, or it could just be people positioning themselves, believing that in this next 8 days, Bitcoin will get an ETF approval. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Bitcoin price tops 38,000 with 8-day window of spot ETF approval. The most highly anticipated development in the crypto market come to fruition in the coming days. ETF analysts say there is a chance for a spot ETF approval from the SEC in the next few days. Okay, people hear that and they get excited, like, oh, let me front run that. A brief window opens on November 9th. Today is November 9th. For the SEC to potentially approve all 12 U.S. spot ETF applications, including Grayscale. This according to James Seyfarth and Eric Balkunis, two leading voices in the increasingly frenetic watch for a BTC ETF approval. It will be open for at least 8 days, okay? And they believe that they're probably going to approve a bunch of them, because if they approve just one, that one has a big lead on the rest. So they're essentially making that one the king, first mover advantage on an ETF. So they probably don't want to do that. And that's the reason why people believe it'll probably be more than one approval all at once, of various ones, so that everyone has kind of a fair chance. All right. What else did I want to mention here? Even if the approvals don't arrive this month, Seyfarth and Balkunis added that we still believe there's a 90% chance of approval by January 10th. January 10th. And so that information, right, leads me to believe, okay, that was the catalyst. Now we're pulling over here, and in these next couple of days, maybe we could start moving up. You know, we could start moving up. This, I'm not sure what exactly is. I'll research and try to find out if I can get to an answer. Also, this move up has also helped liquidate a lot of shorts. Okay, a lot of money was collected by the market makers again. That's just part of the game if you play that game, and so that also helped this price move up. So that's pretty cool. I honestly wasn't expecting this. I was expecting more. Although I thought more probable than going down, I was expecting just more sideways chops and attempts at it, you know, to see. I thought maybe in a couple of attempts we could have probably broken up, because now I think the theory that I'm gonna go with right now, okay, and that could always change, because I'm gonna go with the highest probability theories. Maybe we do go up to this 24 in this last end of the year. Up to the 44,000, you know, before getting some rejection. And then at the beginning of next year, you know, maybe we do drop down to 30, 35, maybe wick down to 33, you know, before we start moving back up again. Just testing this area again one more time. And then we're off to the races. We could theoretically test this 31 into the 30, but I have a tough time believing that. That would be, to me, it could happen next year, and it could just be just a wick, just like a quick wick, boom, like a couple hours, and then it just gets bought up by the next day. It's just a wick, and that is gone, and we are off to the races for the Bitcoin halving. All right, so that's what I think could possibly happen. Now, I also read that there's very, very low volume, like there are a lot of very little money being pumped into this upside move, and that's strange to the people that are analyzing this. Like, this is odd. So maybe we shouldn't, we could expect a negative result. But for now, my bias is still towards the upside. And that's Bitcoin for you. All right. Take a look at WadsPay real quick, because I used up most of my time talking about Bitcoin. All right, so what the heck happened here? All right, well, there was an AMA, and it reminded me of the whole situation, because the people were upset essentially of what happened in this AMA, or what didn't happen, because they wanted to talk about tokenomics. They wanted some more clarity on that, the guy didn't deliver it. He also said something that I thought was stupid. I haven't heard it. So I can't verify it for certain. But someone said, and that he said that the team wasn't focused on the WadsPay token. So I hope that's not the case. Maybe it is. Maybe he was just being honest. But the community didn't like that AMA whatsoever. They didn't get any of the questions that they wanted to answer. But it reminds me of what happened It reminds me of what happened to Veracity. Same thing. We were down this channel for so long. All right, we were right here because the team wanted answers on tokenomics, and well, the community wanted answers on tokenomics, and well, the team delivered, so it all turned out well. So that's what this reminds me of, and that's why I think that this right here is actually an opportunity. Okay, this is an opportunity again. As I've mentioned, we are in buy the dip territory, and did I buy the dip? Yes, I did at 0.033, and also some below both these lines. I forget what the other one is. I don't think it was 2-1. I think 3.3 was the lowest. I got it. I got filled at. I made two quick little buys, which upped my average buy. It used to be under a penny. Now it's 0.0130, but still not bad. I'm still up, guys. Do we maybe spend some time underneath here, consolidating before I move back up? Possible, or maybe this thing is just get eaten up and we come back into this zone. If we come back into this zone, that shows a lot of strength, and I think it's just, honestly, this is just an overreaction by the community. Everything is going to be okay, and this talks about, you know, WPC is the WadsPay chain, still on track to launch in 2024, fourth in quarter to launch Q4, which is this year. So I mean, I got a couple months maybe. Let's see what happens with it if they do that. If they do that, that'll be good. That'll cause the price to pump more than likely. Some other stuff, if you want to check it out, I posted it on my Instagram. I mean on my Twitter too. I reposted this. WadsPay is doing well as a company, already generating revenue from its private partnerships. In the process of hiring, it's in the process of hiring a new reputable blockchain specialist from another well-known project. More details to come soon. Like, these are the positive things. All right, this is the recap. Let's read it. Staz was the speaker. Stated that there are no changes to tokenomics. More clarity is needed, but this is a start. Is doing well as a company. It's mentioned that. Okay, said that. Is on chain is still on track to launch Q4. WPC is upgradable and future-proof. WatsPay Chain. WatsPay Chain is a blockchain built from scratch for payments and is customizable. WatsPay Chain will have an offline payment feature that has been tested. Refund feature on WatsPay Chain function has been very well received from clients and regulators. WatsPay Chain is a hybrid blockchain. The public blockchain will be POS, proof of stake, and the private chain will be POA, proof of, I forget what that is, POA. The rationale behind the hybrid design is that certain specialized entities like banks require enhanced security measures behind what the public blockchain offers. WPC, WatsPay Chain, will utilize WatsPay to process transactions at a set percentage rate. It was definitely bullish. With a little clarification, this is what he says, we'll swoop into the moon, another AMA, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, the public was up in arms, but here's another perspective from this guy, Nick Wads, crypto_Vikings at 11. Okay, so I thought that was good, interesting. And so this just looks more like an opportunity, because this thing was looking to get to 5 cents. And I think in short term, it was going to go up here, but news happens, right? So news will just destroy any type of structure, really, for the most part. All right, so we got to know what's going on. Okay, so that's WatsPay by the dip territory. All right, that's all I'm going to say here. Under where this is 0.0359, which is where it is right now. I'd be picking some up if I wasn't already invested, completely invested. And I actually added some more. Actually, no, now I am completely invested with these last one buy. I made 2, so I'm actually over now. All right, so okay, so that's where we are with WatsPay. WatsPay still looks good. Just public community sometimes overreacts. That's just how we are as people. Sad but true. Sinverse, boom! This bad boy moved up to a penny. A penny. I bought it at 0.0025. So already at a penny, I'm up 4x. At a penny, I'm up 4x, guys. All right, that's the power of the cryptos, guys. And I have put this on my community's radar as early as down here, actually right here. I'm sorry. So they did have all this chance to buy, to take a look. So I mean, I did put it there. That's pretty much the lows. Anyway, so I went to a penny. All right, I went to a penny, went over a penny, and notice how it just rejected on this point. Right, and now we're back at 0.01. We're at a penny. We're at a penny. Pretty awesome. So we were rejecting lower. Actually, I saw us a lot like lower here, and it came back. It came back, and this is beautiful. This shows some strength. I thought maybe this rejection was going to bring us back down here to maybe test this area that's been an area of resistance for a while. All right, since inception, basically. So I thought maybe, but hey, it looks like there's strength, and as long as Bitcoin keeps moving forward, when Bitcoin kind of calms down and goes sideways, these coins will move. And you know what? Even though Bitcoin's been moving, just today, some of these coins have moved. My portfolio was looking pretty. I was like looking at my portfolio thinking, oh wow, am I already in profits? And you know what? I am. Pretty awesome. Obviously, I have losers, laggards, but luckily, a lot of those are just small little bets that I put on different projects just in case. And none of those have paid off yet, but I'm close. I'm sure I will be in very big profits in the not too distant future, percentage-wise to what I put in, you know. Okay, Kompete chart. Let's look at that one, because that one is another one. Sometimes you just get lucky, guys. All right, my average price is 0.0162044, okay? And so I made a video. I'm like, I bought some Kompete here, okay, because I thought that this might happen because of the way the market is. So you have to know where we're standing at all times. So you have to know the market is bullish right now. And so I thought, okay, maybe we're not going to get down here. So I'm like, okay, when I saw this little green thing right here, I'm like, okay, let me buy. So I bought my final bit on my bag, and then this happened days later. Pretty cool. And now it looks like maybe this could be the starting point. It's too early to tell. A base right here. I don't know. I'd have to do it on Kompete Ether, right? So it's like 4 zeros 1412. All right, 4 zeros 1412. 0.4 zeros 1412 right here. Where is it? 2 cents. 0.0284 cents. All right, guys, more or less the equivalent. All right, so yeah. So oh well, maybe just a little under there. So right around here, hopefully if we can create some type of base right here, then this will be the next liftoff point. Maybe something similar to here, something like that. Boom, boom, boom. And maybe we don't come back and test this until much later, or maybe never at all. Depends on how the rest of the market goes. All right. So that's pretty interesting. Let's look at this whole chart right here. Yeah. And if we go past this, guys, essentially we will be in price discovery. So that's pretty cool. That means that this thing can fly. This thing can fly early. Compete, baby. So yeah, so that one looks pretty good too. A lot of bullish things about this project too, guys. Go do your homework. Go do your homework. I can't say all that stuff now because it's 22 minutes already. This video is getting too long. So, all right. So I covered everything that I wanted to cover, guys. ETF approval. So there's that window for the next 8 days. Let's see what happens. Do we get an approval or not? Anybody's guess. Maybe we do. And if that's the case, then we are going way up beyond 44,000. So hopefully you have been DCAing and you can still continue to DCA. Obviously you got to be judicious, just be very picky in your entry points, you know, and try to find the best entry points. Don't chase green candles. Although right now we're in the territory, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but you have to be somewhat seasoned. And I will also say buy the dip because that's in the territory that we're at right now, guys. All right, guys, let's leave it at that. Thank you so much. Please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. That helps out the algorithms. I want to grow this channel, and I've been seeing that actually we have been growing, so really cool. Thank you so much. And you have been leaving comments, so thank you so much. Talk to you guys later. Peace.